Alright everyone, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. My name is Chifrane and I am an Igbo Nigerian YouTuber based here in Saudi Arabia. I vlog about lifestyle, I do reviews and every other thing you could think about. Meanwhile, thank you so much for stopping by my channel if this is your first time, and to my returning subscribers, I so much appreciate your support. You guys are the pioneer of this channel. So if you are joining me today, do well to hit the subscribe button, like, comment and share this content if it pleases you. Meanwhile, this is a collaboration video with a beautiful lady with a golden hat. Her name is Lovelyn Campbell and her channel's name is Love Francex. She's based in Italy. She's a mom vlogger. You know, she does lifestyle and she has amazing content, and she's married to an Italian handsome man. Alright, so please, after watching my content, do well to visit her channel. I will definitely leave her channel's link in the description. Visit her channel, watch her content, support her. She needs your support to grow. So thank you once again for stopping by. Now let's get into the video proper. Alright, so this is basically what brought about the title of this video today. I was asked by my close friends why I did not marry a white man in the UK. Literally, I was approached for serious relationship by two white men, but then I'll tell you why I didn't go on with them in this video. Basically, Love Francex will be doing the opposite of this since she's married to an Italian man. So she will be giving reasons why she married a white man. Yeah. So if you are interested hooking up with a white man and you would like to know some of the things or some of the reasons that you would want to settle with one, definitely visit her channel to get more gist. Now let's get into the main topic. So why I didn't marry a white man in England? I spent 3 years in England as a student, and basically I had a kind of what is it called, a single story. That's a single perspective, a general notion about the whites in those years. Currently the ideology is totally different from what I used to think about the whites in the past. I had a single story. Single story means a general notion. When you see people from a single perspective, you know, generalization, you conclude based on one or two experiences you had or what you have heard people say. Nigerians are this, they are not good. People from South Africa, they are this, they are that. Then you believe that every of a South African is just like that. Every of a Nigerian man is a yahoo yahoo. No, no, no. That's not true. But this is exactly what my thoughts about white men used to be. Not only the men, the women in general. Alright, so basically the single story I've known about the whites in those years was actually the fact that they don't value marriage. You know, they don't like being in marriage, and when they finally do, they don't like having children. You know, so there are so much differences that were playing up in my head in those years. Something like language barrier, you know, cultural differences, because the way they think is not the same way we think. You know, our belief system varies. The whites, a lot of them do not even believe in God. I will tell you my experiences in this video. You know, so they think differently. So coming to eating habits, theirs is totally different. They don't eat like the normal food we eat. Basically, the whites don't have pots in their house. They usually have frying pans and whatever, and they like eating out. But this is different from the way Africans eat. So I had all these things, you know, piling up in my head about the whites, and they are too emotional. Yes, I like men who are emotional. Everybody likes people who are emotional. But the whites, those days, I heard stories about them. When you are in a relationship with a white guy and something happens, he feels offended, he would just drop a letter, a suicide note, and jump into the lagoon or whatever. So these were basically the single stories I had about whites. The second factor that actually made me not to get into a relationship with a white were actually my encounters, you know, my relationship with mostly the blacks that I mingled with in the UK. You know, the stories they shared, even the whites that I met, they shared some scary stories, you know, some unusual stories. So for instance, in certain occasions, I heard stories of different kinds. Some were first-hand information, you know. So there was a day I was in a lecture hall, and a lecturer, not just a young one, she's a lady, you know, she simply said, she was talking about something, and she said she's an American and married to a British guy or a British man. So she simply told us that she didn't want children, that all they wanted in the house was just pets, pussy cats. That's all they want. You know, they have money, she's a lecturer. I'm telling you, they're a senior lecturer in my school. The husband is also a lecturer. So they have money to take care of children if they want one. But she didn't want first-hand information. Secondly, I went to work one day. A nurse was recanting how she divorced her husband. She was married for only 3 months. And when I asked her, why did you divorce your husband? She said they dated for 7 long years, but they got married for only 3 months. She said, to be honest with me, that they were better off dating rather than getting married. Are you getting what formed my single story, or what actually made me to start avoiding them? Now, I was actually doing my radio training. That was a skill I acquired for free in the UK then. My tutor's daughter, Aisha, she was 18 as at that moment. So she simply told me that she doesn't believe in God. I was like, what do you mean? She says she doesn't believe in God, that her dad is a Christian, a fervent one, but that she just wants to be doing her things, you know. That's fine for her. But then just put yourself in my own position. I am a Nigerian, a fervent Christian for that matter, and somebody is talking to you in that manner. I was also in a classroom one day, in a class of 18 students, and the lecturer came up with a question asking every one of us if we did believe in God. Honestly, in that class of 18, it was only about 5 of us that said we believe in God. Others didn't. And I had a close classmate, a friend of mine. She's a Muslim. She covers her hair. But usually during the short break time, she would ask me, Francesca, would you like to go for a quick cig? You know, she would go out to smoke and all that. I would be like, why is she smoking? She's even a Muslim. She covers her hair and all that. So all these things got me scared. I had another Igbo brother of mine. He is a British citizen. I was like, how did you get your stay in England? He told me that he actually got married, and he meant to marry this lady with all his heart. That after about 1 year on, the lady was a nurse, Oyibo Pepe, a British lady. He said after about a year or so, that the lady called him and said, please, he doesn't want the marriage any longer. That was how he got his stay. The lady walked away. So you can imagine. Another occasion, my landlady actually gave me a lift from Manchester to Bolton. She and the sister were in the car, you know. So we had a discussion on our way driving back to Bolton. She asked me if I would like to get married. I said yes. I said, no, don't do it. It's not right. That marriage is like a burden. That marriage is not good. It's like a burden. It's like someone getting into a prison and blah, blah, blah. You know, because she's not married too. She has a child. And not only that she has a child, you know, the way these people, the way they give birth to children and the way they marry is something really unusual to we the Africans, you know, because she has her own child from a black guy, and she also has 2 stepchildren grown up. Certainly they should be in their 20s now. And another boyfriend of hers moved in with her. You know, this kind of lifestyle. She was telling me that it's not necessary getting married, that when they are old, or that when they get old, they will definitely go in the nursing home and become troublesome. They were only joking anyway, you know. So I've also met a nurse at work who was narrating how she went to the club, a British nurse, you know, that she went clubbing at night. She met this guy. She didn't know the guy by his name. They did exchange number, and they had a stand, one night stand, and that was it. Good and fine. Now, the ones that were so close to me, my friends, I have this friend of mine. She's let me not name the country where she comes from because everybody would know, you know, but she's an European. She has 5 kids, and she's been married for 5 good times. Hey, we are never married once. Somebody don't marry 5 times. And before my own crocodile naked eyes, the last child, you know, being the little boy, that boy was 14 as at that time. The boy was just talking to one of the boyfriends. He said, I almost called it. He said, that's my mom's boyfriend, that's my mom. You know, such things are not obtainable in Africa, you know. I felt as if people were not real about marriage. Even the blacks, to me, in those years, they were not serious with marriage, because when you heard about the way they marry, there was another one, they told me the story. He went to church, organized a remarriage in the altar of God. They did this wedding, everybody came, huge reception. And at the end, he knew that it was a sham marriage. And he just made it publicly for everybody. And he left the girl after a while. You know, in another development, where I worked as a volunteer in a charity shop, there was this friend of mine, a white guy, you know, we're so close, talking and gisting. One day he simply told me that he's bisexual, you know, that he's both into women and into men. Recently he got married on Facebook. He married to a fellow man. You know, so many things I heard. And in another occasion again, I saw one Oyibo again, a guy coming to cry that the boyfriend is leaving him. 2 men. You want me to marry Oyibo? Wait. Alright, so the 2 Oyibo that approached me, the 2 white guys that approached me, why didn't I settle with them? One of them, I met him online on Facebook. We got chatting, we got talking serious, you know. He works in an oil company. He's from Essex, close to London. And when he started inviting me to visit, I said I wasn't going to visit. One day I went to his Facebook wall and I saw a photo of a little girl for about 8 years old. I asked him, who is this girl? He said the girl is his daughter. I said, good and fine. How about the mother? He said it's a long story that he's going to tell me the next day. So the next day he come up with a story that the mom actually died, that he caused the mother's death. I said, you caused his death, and now you want me to marry you so that tomorrow you will cause my own death. That was all I thought, you know, that was all I concluded. I said, not me. My flatmate then was angry with me. In fact, I stopped chatting with this guy. When he come up chatting, my flatmate would take over the chat and start chatting with him. I said, it's not me. Oh, now don't see me with white men. Lie. When he be said tomorrow, if that one provoke, if he use gun, blow off my brain. I said, lie. Alright, so the second white guy that approached me, I met him one-on-one, and he was serious. His name is Dave. Very handsome, tall and good gentleman, you know. So he was mean. This one told me everything. After some time, he was like, Chi, please, I don't want you to go back to Nigeria. Let's get married. He said that to me, that please, he wants to give me a stay in the UK. I said, Lila, I would rather go back to Nigeria than marrying a white man, you know. He was like, why am I being racist or discriminated? So Dave actually said to me that he's been a member to all this religion that I could think about. That he's been a Christian, he's been a member of a Hindu. That right now, as he was talking to me, that he's a Muslim. Hey, can you imagine Chifrane marrying a Muslim? I just laughed in Swahili. I said, this one no see me. You know, and he also has a child. Not even a child, a teenage girl, because it's a grown-up girl from the previous relationship, or you know the way they are now. I said, these people lie, they don't see me at all. You know, and I'm somebody that jokes a lot. So how is it going to be if I crack a joke, you wouldn't understand me? If I make food, you wouldn't eat my food, because they eat differently from what we eat. And for Nigerians are trying, because we can eat Oyibo food, any foreign food at all, we can adapt and eat, but they cannot eat our food and all these things, you know. I said no. So with all these stories and experiences I've had with them, I was totally scared about getting into a relationship with somebody who would wake up to tell me that, oh, it's over with us, I am done with the relationship, you can take your way, you know. You know, these things are not common in Africa, because we believe that marriage is, what is it called? It's everlasting, you know. But to Oyibo, it's not like that. It's totally different. They can marry and remarry 5 times, 10 times. You know, they don't care at any age. So they totally think differently from the way we think. So these were actually my reasons for not really going into a relationship or not getting married to any British guy when I was in the UK. Yeah. But generally, I would love to say that I have come to outgrow such single story about a people. It is not right, because marrying to any color, black or white, wouldn't take you to heaven or hell. Yes, it depends, you know. So let not this form your decisions about who you marry. If you love the person, go on with the person, because in as much as you go on to imbibe the person's culture, the person would also imbibe your culture, you know. So if this were in those days, I don't know, I may have given it a second thought, you know. But definitely with all these experiences I had about them, it was a no-no for me then. It was a no-no. Just be in my shoe now. You see all this talk where they go left-handed. Definitely you would have taken to your heels, you know. So it wasn't really easy. So whether Oyibo, black or white, and you are in love with the person, go ahead and marry the person if you know that you can tolerate the person, you know, the person's lifestyle, eat the person's food, be patient with the person. Hence, both of you understand each other. It's perfectly okay. Yes. So once again, thank you for your time. I really appreciate your stopping by. Remember to like, subscribe, and keep coming back for more content. Thank you so much.